You're listening to Her Confidence Her Way Podcast, episode 177. Welcome to Her Confidence Her Way Podcast, a place to talk about leveling up your work life, creating meaningful work, and living the life that you always wanted. Hey girlfriends, I am your host, Emmy Rasmussen. 15 plus years of corporate career woman turned into an entrepreneur who now coaches hundreds of Japanese career-minded women, helping them to unlock their potentials and build unshakable self-confidence. I will tell you the truth. It isn't an easy journey. I mean, if it is that easy, then everyone is living their dream life already. If you're ready to do the work, let's hang out right here, right now. Hey girlfriends, how are you doing? And thank you so much for listening to this episode. I am super stoked that you are listening to this episode. Thank you so much. 皆さんこんにちは。Her Confidence Her Way のエピソードを今日も聞いてくれてどうもありがとうございます。I am super excited to share this episode. This is actually, it literally just happened. ですね、何が起こったかということなんですけども、私にはコーチがいます。1年間ずっとついてるコーチがいるんですけども、彼女がやっているプログラムで、サクセスストーリーっていうので、インタビューをね、するので、私にもぜひ来てくれるっていうふうに聞かれて、それでインタビューをされたので、私のサクセスストーリーを、彼女のグループでシェアしました。なので、すべてこれ、英語なんですね。It is all gonna be in English for this interview, and I had an opportunity to be interviewed by my own coach, Julie. So I am super excited to share this. で、この内容なんですけれども、結構英語めちゃめちゃ早いんですね。だから、もちろん英語が普段から全然問題ないよっていう人は、もちろん聞いていただければいいと思うんですけども、まだね、英語がちょっとっていう方は、ちなみにこのポッドキャストって、スピードもね、変えることできるんですよ。で、私のコーチ結構、バババババって早く喋るもんなので、もしかしたら、いや、ネイティブのっていうのはって思う方もいるかもしれないんですけど、そう、スピードの調節ってね、できるので、ちょっとね、スローにして、もしね、よかったら聞いてほしいなっていうふうに思うんですけども、私がどのようにして、サクセスを出したかっていうところを話しています。で、すっごく私のコーチが言った言葉で私の心にすごくヒットしたことなんですけども、私がいつも言ってるように、全然一晩のサクセスなんてないよっていうふうにはいつも言ってますよね。そんな簡単にビジネスなんて成功しないよって。私の場合はその一晩のサクセス。皆さんには一晩に見えるかもしれないけど、私は4年かかっています。で、もちろんサイドハッスルをしてる部分があるんですけども、でも一晩のブレイクスルーっていうのはあります。オーバーナイトブレイクスルーっていうのはもちろんあって、私はまさにそれを経験しているわけなんですよ。なので、そうですね、私が今回お話ししたのは、自分はどこから始まったかというか、昔私は何をしていて、どのようにしてこのジュリーのコーチングのプログラムを見つけて、どのようにして参加して、何が起こって、私は何をしたからこのようなサクセスが出たかっていう、もうそこもう本当にお金の話とか全然金額とかもボンボン出して言ってるし、もう本当に、大変だったこととかもお話もしています。なので、そう、私のこのストーリーが聞きたい方はぜひ聞いてください。普段ね、私はインタビューする側なので、あんまり、私はでも常に話してる方なんですけれども、誰かに質問されて答えるパターンっていうのはまだ皆さんあんまり聞いていない部分もあるのかなっていうふうに思うので、I'm pretty sure you're gonna have fun with my conversation. It's definitely not so much on giving you tips and tricks, but I think this gives you lots of inspiration. 私の話したことで本当にインスパイアされて、で、ジュリーのね、プログラムに入りましたってメッセージとか、本当に直接いただいたりとか、コメントとかもすっごいもう、Oh my gosh, you're so inspiring とかっていう風に本当に言っていただける。だから私のストーリーで他の方がインスパイアして、で、彼女たちも、 ね、私のコーチを信用して、で、彼女たちのそのパッションワークをこれからも続けていくっていう、その彼女の力になれたのが本当に嬉しいなっていうふうに思います。それではインタビューの前に、もしもまだ Her Confidence Her Way Sisterhood Community に参加していない方は、ぜひぜひ参加してください。そのグループでは何が起こっているかというと、毎週火曜日 Teaching Tuesday というものをやっています。本当に、ライブでもう本当に奥深く、もういろんなトピック、いろんなトピックって言っても、もちろんその自信であったりとか、マインドセットだったりとか、ビジネスに成功するにはっていうところのトピックなんですけども、本当に深くコーチングをして、コーチング、ティーチングをしているので、もしもこのお話を聞いて、もっとお話を聞きたいとか、インスタグラムの方を見ていて、Oh my gosh, I wanna know more about what I do. Her Confidence, Her Way Sisterhood Community is where you should be at. Alright, without further ado, please enjoy my conversation with Julie.
Hey, sorry we're a couple minutes late, little technical difficulties, but we are here and we're so excited. I cannot wait for you to meet Emmy Rasmussen. Like, you guys, one, are going to just love her because she's just a good human. And you are also going to be incredibly impressed with what she has done. And I'm not going to say it's been in a short time. You guys know what I feel. Nothing is an overnight success, but there are overnight breakthroughs. I'm a firm believer in overnight breakthroughs, but it's a lot of hard work up to it. So you are going to absolutely be blown away by Emmy's story. You guys have heard me talk all week that, don't be afraid to niche down. It is where the riches are. And Emmy is going to be sharing with you how that is indeed the case. So without further ado, I am going to bring on my friend and client, Emmy Rasmussen. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here today.
Well, I'm so happy to have you here. I know you're in California. You've got the kids home. You're homeschooling. You're doing all the things. You're running it's now a 6-figure business, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Like, can we just totally get excited about that? Like, that's
yes. Oh my God. Totally.
Sometimes, right?
Yeah. I mean, so I have this vision board. Literally, I had a number. It says 100. Is it 100,000? I've never even said that word. Isn't it crazy? And then yesterday, I was rewriting a number because I've already hit that number.
Okay, it's September. I'm so excited, and I can't wait. I know the women that are watching and listening are so excited because I put the title of this interview, was it 37 and 45,000 K launches, $37,000, $45,000 launches. Now, it's back to what I said. There are no overnight successes, but there are breakthroughs. So why don't you share with everybody here a little bit about your backstory? You and I are in similar paths of corporate. We came from corporate.
Yep.
And kind of what led you to even start the side thing, and then how it became your main thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love this. I don't even know where to start, but I'm just going to start from what I remember because so many things happen. But I'm actually originally from Japan. And I have been working with this company. It's an online institute. I have been working. I'm so used to saying that, I used to be this, but now I'm this. I need to get out of that. But so I used to work with this online university. It's an institution, and I've been there for 12 years. And I was in a management position and all that stuff. But because English is my second language, I always had some sort of an excuse saying English is my second language. I'm not good enough. And that became some sort of I became that invisible person pretty much. And I felt miserable. The things that I do, I loved what I did, but somewhere within me that I was just not confident at all. And I would never forget about this time where me and there was another manager, Amy. She's amazing leader. And this person was kept calling me the other manager, Amy and the other manager, Amy and the other manager. She never even recognized my name. I was the other manager. So I had a really, really low self confidence, self esteem, and all that stuff. But for whatever the reason, when I became a manager, our company, we really loved doing this professional development or career development. Like for those if you're in a corporate, I'm pretty sure this sounds really, really familiar. And that's where I met my mentor and all that stuff. And I started to listen to podcasts. Whoa, this podcasting totally changed my game. I was listening to this podcast called Working Motherhood because I was a working mom too. And these women are talking about entrepreneurship and, oh, I get to do what I love. And some people are saying like, oh, I lost the job and then like that was the best thing ever. And I was thinking like, oh, she's saying that because, you know, she felt sorry for it. That's how I felt. But anyway, so I was kept listening and entrepreneur, like that term, entrepreneur was brand new to me. I was driving. I couldn't look it up what that means. I got home. I looked it up. Whoa, entrepreneurship. You get to do whatever you, not necessarily whatever, but what you want to do and do that. You become your own boss. Sounds really cool, but I don't think I can do it. You know, that's how I literally start this or discover this online world. And
isn't it funny how like you just never knew it existed at all?
No.
It was like I discovered this hidden world, you know, and after all those years in corporate, and I was like, oh, I need in on this. I'm assuming that is how you felt too.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you're in corporate, you don't have any other people who are in this hidden world. So people would just be happy with what they're doing and thinking this is the only way to make it, or this is the right way to do, or whatever that is. So I was totally in that. So I never really thought that I can do it or anything. But my little nudge was kept telling me, you should do a podcast. You should do a podcast. And I was thinking, okay, well, maybe there's this podcast for, I guess, English speaking or American. It's kind of weird to say, podcast. So there must be something for Japanese women who are like me, who immigrated from Japan and working in the United States. I couldn't find it. And here it goes again. You should do a podcast. You should do a podcast. I had zero confidence. I didn't know what to say or anything, but I dragged that little nudge for like 1 year and then I started it. And that's how I pretty much kind of started my side hustle. I didn't know that there is a word side hustle either back then, but that's how I started. So overnight success took me 4 years, but I loved what you said. I definitely had the overnight breakthrough with you through Ignite You.
So tell us a little bit. And actually, Ashley's asking, how do you listen to podcasts? So podcasts changed my life. They changed Emmy's life. We each created our own podcast as a result of that. So you can listen to podcasts wherever, like if you have an iPhone, you actually have a app already loaded on your phone that's in purple that says podcast. Like that purple one right there. Yep, exactly. So you can just look up, Ignite Your Side Hustle, look up my name, you look up Emmy's name, you'll find our podcast. And then if you have like an Android, you can do it, I think, on Google Play, Spotify. We're kind of on all the places, Mm-hmm. So it's awesome. They're game changing for sure. So, okay. So you start the podcast, you're still in the day job, but there's something more that you want to create, right? Tell everybody kind of what happened was it the fall?
So during my 12 years, I got laid off, not once, but twice from the same company. But okay, so maybe I should go back a little bit. So for that 4 years, right? So I discovered this online world, and there's so many bunch of like tiny, how do you call it? The shiny, what do you call it? Shiny
object.
Yes, shiny object. So I was always looking for this freebies, the free masterclass, the free whatever, the free, what is the one that Kaylee does? Live launch method, right?
Workshops and master classes.
Yeah.
Free.
So I was like, ooh, I'm going to sign up for this. Ooh, I'm going to sign up for this. Ooh, I'm going to sign up for Like it was just everywhere. And I was getting emails like every day. Overwhelming. Have I ever done anything? No. It's free. Free is the most expensive things ever. In my opinion.
Not agree more.
Yep. And then, but then for Kelly's, which I know that's your coach. That was the game changer for me. And then I knew that I had to do something. And that's when I still had my corporate. But I was thinking like, but I don't know. She seems like very, very high, right? And one day I saw you doing the client interview like this. And it was just like immediate, like love at the first sight. Maybe
I love you too.
Corporate background and mom and all that stuff, but something that you had the message, I totally connected with you, and I was following and I joined your thing, and then during that time I lost my job. That was January 2020. That's when I lost my job, and then I think you had several masterclass like this, and then
we did one in February and then one in April, and I think it was the April one.
Yeah. Because the February one, that's when my husband, are you ready for this?
Yeah, that's right.
My husband lost a job.
So so guys, listen to that. They both had lost their jobs earlier this year. Two kids in California, one of the most expensive states possible to live in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you very much. We pay for the weather. So my husband lost a job because of COVID. I was on unemployment, and I said, shoot, I gotta do something. And I was scared, of course. And there is no promise. And even if you take a program or you have a coach like Tony Robbins or whoever, it doesn't matter if you do or don't. And there's no promise. Tony Robbins, he is not going to give you a promise. Like, if you take my course, you're gonna make 7K.
Are you trying to do his voice?
That's what I'm trying to do. You got to do this. You got to do the hard work,
Oh my God, I love you.
But like something that I connected, and obviously what you have taught me made sense. And I loved your simplification, because I was spinning.
Totally.
I had no idea what to say. I had no idea, like all those things that you have talked about. And I said, sign me up. And I didn't even tell.
To pause there too. So she decided to take the leap while on unemployment, and her husband still hadn't found a job yet.
Yeah.
Like, that is a massive leap of faith forward.
Yeah, definitely. But I knew that I needed, if I want to make this happen, I knew that I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. Yep. And I knew that. And that was the reason. I knew I had to do it. There's no promise, but the promise was just between me and myself, right?
Yep.
I'm going to make this happen. So like, I think people normally ask them a wrong question. Like, does this program work for me? That's a wrong question to ask. How am I, right? You can't put the finger towards someone else. Can you promise me, Julie? Can you promise me this is going to bring money? No, you have to promise yourself, right? I'm going to promise myself, I'm going to make this happen. So I determined, and I didn't even tell my husband. And later that night, hey, babe, so I'm a big girl, and I decided to do some investment. He's like, what is it? And this coach, Julie, who? It's that type of level. And because
meanwhile, now your kids know me, which is hysterical.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Whenever the kids hear your voice, like, oh, your coach is here.
So cute.
Yeah. So he said, are you crazy? And I said, don't worry, I'll get this money back.
Ooh, I get the chills.
Yeah. And I did within that, the first launch.
More than that.
More than. Mm-hmm.
And here's the cool thing. This is what I love about what you did. You put skin in the game, and you said, all right, I'm paying to play. I'm putting my chips, like as they say when you're going to place a bet, and you take your chips in Vegas and you put it in the middle of the table and you said, I'm in, we're going, I'm going all in.
Yeah.
But you showed up, and then you did the work, and you took action fast.
Yes.
So you basically created a coaching program and launched it within a matter of a very short period of time. To what was your first launch there? You say the number. You take the glory of that number.
To be honest, I don't even remember. I think it was
37,000.
Yeah,
37,000.
I know. So now my husband knows what I do. So he's like, Deb, I think it's time for you to serve your people. That's what he said.
Smart man.
I know,
Wait, we missed that part. Let's pause on that. We missed that part. I kept telling everyone in here that your niche is pretty niched. And you had a $37,000 launch. You went on to then do a $45,000 one after. Tell everybody specifically who you serve.
I serve Japanese working women, but it may sound very small to you, but for me, it's still too big because
it's not that it's small, but it's people want to say women.
Women, yeah. No, Japanese women.
And Japanese speaking women. You teach in Japanese.
Speaking. On top of that, she has to be bilingual. She has to be able to understand what I say because I am very unique. Obviously, because I have been living in this country for a long time, and the things that I learned from you is everything is all English. So sometimes it's very difficult for me to translate. And whenever I'm fired up, I love to express myself in English. And maybe this sounds very weird to you or anyone who don't really, speak another language, but I flip-flop all the time. So corporate working woman who wants
bilingual.
To turn, their passion into their passion-driven side hustle. And she's Japanese. And she also has to be able to understand. So bilingual. Yep.
Yeah. So even though the point is that's still such a big market to tap into. And clearly that's the case because of your results. But it's such great evidence for people that need to hear that. Like to drill down, like, I hear from a lot of people, well, my product or my service could be really sold or bought by anybody.
Yeah.
But when we talk to anybody, we talk to nobody. We know that. And I just love that what you've been able to do in such a short period of time really reflects that when you really know your person and you're talking so specifically to her, flip-flopping between two different languages, you can really make an impact. So that was huge progress. Like in such a short period of time, but it was one of those overnight breakthroughs versus overnight successes, right?
Yeah.
It all kind of came together, but you showed up and you did the work.
Yeah. And then also that niche down thing, I literally just took what I learned from you. Like you're really like zero in on that. So like I'm even like speaking your term. Oh my gosh, I sound like you now.
I love it.
You say that, I was like, you gotta zero in. But that's what I exactly did. I just literally I still have this paper that I printed out from
the original.
Yeah, original. I just did everything. So it works. And people think you must have a lot of IG, Instagram followers, but no, I don't. I have 2,000. Well, it is a lot if you're starting from the bottom, but 2,000, only 2,159.
And you have a 6-figure business that you were able to create within the last several months.
Correct.
So you joined Ignite U in April, taking a total chance. What would you say outside of putting skin in the game and kind of having you're paying to play now? What do you think was one of the biggest things that helped you to take this action and actually get the results that you got?
What are the things? I mean, you make it so simple.
Yeah, I feel like that should be my middle name. Maybe I'm going to legally change my middle name to Simple.
Yeah. Simple. So I think I really thought doing this business thing is so complicated and so hard. And I mean, yes, you gotta do the hard work, but not necessarily a busy work.
Right.
So I showed up and I literally did it. Whenever I hear excuses, well, maybe my followers are not listening or whatever. No, it doesn't matter. And I think you say this a lot, and we tend to forget that it takes time, right? So you can't just post and you can't just follow what we learned from you for maybe a month or so, and oh no, it didn't work. It's good for her that Julie, this method works for her. It's good for her, but no, it's not working. I'm just gonna go somewhere else. No,
right.
You got it's the consistency, and what is the other word that you use? Repetition.
Repetition, yes.
Repetition, and then what's the other one? The strong belief.
Yes, conviction.
Conviction. There you go. Thank you. Yep. And I literally just take observe. Like I drink and observe. Like you're my pill, pretty much.
Oh my God, you're so funny.
But yeah,
That's a good dose of it.
I do. So I don't do anything special. I just
Well, you do though. You take action, and I think that there's many women that are probably watching it. It was me too, and I'm sure it was you. It was because you were taking all the free stuff. I was doing free stuff for a while too, and it's like you talk about your eyes going crisscross because when you are hearing this person say this, and this coach say this, and this Instagram expert say this, and this LinkedIn person say this, and now you're trying to piece it together. Some of it's contradictory. You're all over the place. You spin and you do nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that the number one way to get to the kind of success that you have gotten to is that one, you decided, I'm not doing this alone. I need to put skin in the game. But two, you took massive action.
Yeah.
And when you take massive action, you get rewarded with that, which is huge. So let's switch gears. How does it feel having you have a couple of programs, that have created this 6-figure business that you now have. How do you feel about where you're at right now?
To be really honest, I feel more confident and I feel really great. But most importantly, I just every day, like you say, Monday I used to dread, but every day I just wake up excited to help people that I am supposed to be helping. Just that, like joy and the passion work. So I don't even feel like this is work, and I even feel bad almost that like, is this okay that I get paid to do this? And it's an amazing feeling. Like every day is literally filled with joy, passion, and purpose. Like that's it. That's all. And the thing is, my kids, like I have 2 girls, they watch me. And it's so great to become the role model because kids know they watch moms. I mean, dad too, but overseas moms, right? And they know when mommy's not happy, then the house isn't the happy place. And they know, oh, if she can do it, then I can do it too. So they totally know what I do. And I'm so happy that I get to show them that, hey, there is so many opportunities. You can do what you can do if you believe it, if you show up and do what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, I love that. And you're so right, because kids feel like they have one path. That's all they see often in the world. And so the fact that you're showing your kids, now there's another option, I lost my job and look what I've done now. And this isn't this is what you can do. This is what you can be capable of, which I think is incredible. I love that. So let's talk about one last thing before I kind of ask you to maybe give some parting words of advice for anyone that's kind of maybe stuck where kind of you were before you had these breakthroughs. It was so funny because when we first were talking, you wanted to get, this program launched. You wanted to be able to, be, creating a 6-figure business. And then all of a sudden it was like, I have it. Now what? Like, what's next? And so you're in this whole evolution now of up-leveling even from there.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that. How does that feel? And I mean, I'm excited to work with you on that next chapter, because there's so much you still have to do, that you're going to do for these women that you're serving, which is amazing. But tell us a little bit about that and kind of that epiphany of like, oh, I got to break through some beliefs here to now get to that next level.
Yeah. I've heard of those upper limits. Upper limits. So I'm a podcast junkie. Like I listen to podcasts a lot. Now with COVID, it's less, and plus I don't have the commuting thing, so I don't have much time. The only time that I do is listening when I'm folding laundries or doing other things. And what I was going to say, upper limit. So I've heard of that, but I never really understood because I wasn't there. So now it's kind of funny. Like whenever I hear things like, ooh, that applies to me. Yes. Or expanding your team. Like, ooh, yeah, I need that. Like all those, I used to just live under this glass ceiling. It's the corporate term, coming from the corporate. So I really believe that there's always a limit. And then I feel like I also put a limit built Element on my own too.
Yep.
Yeah. So now I break through that. I can go anywhere. Like, ooh, what do I want to do next? And how do I want to serve other people? It's just sky's the limit, you said. And that was like, like it's just opening up. So like so many things that I can do. And I'm super excited for next year. I've already made a plan. And obviously I'm going to do another launch because my husband wants me to do it.
Oh, yeah, that was the best. What did he say to you? Something like, are you going to do another launch? Or what did he say to you?
He always says, I think it's time for you to serve your people because people will be inspired by you, right? But
go to the bank.
Yeah, but he also has a goal that he wants to buy a boat. So that's what he wants. So he's like, okay, where's my boat money? Where's my boat money?
Oh my God, that's hysterical. That's hysterical.
But he's very supportive. And then I think you were talking about this during the training. Sometimes your husband might be not supportive, but once he sees the money,
he's the biggest fan.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the truth. And I think, I've talked about this before. I'm not sure I talked about it in this masterclass, but it's super important is that we tend to, hope that our spouses and maybe our family and even our closest friends will understand what we're trying to do and, be there for us when we have I don't ever use the word failure because there's always lessons, but when we have a disappointment,
right.
Or when we have a big celebration, like a launch or something like that. And, or we rank, up in our network marketing company or whatever. And like, it's always kind of like falls flat for the most part because people don't understand what it is, why you're doing what you're doing. Isn't that, really, what are you doing? Didn't your mother think you were doing something illegal or something?
Yeah. So she was really worried because I lost a job and my husband didn't have a job. So she was, calling from Japan, is everything okay?
Right.
Isn't it time for you to look for a job? How many companies have you had done with the interviews? Blah, blah, blah. Like, Mom, I'm good. And then she goes, so what do you do? And my mom's like baby boomers, like she didn't live in this hidden world, right? So
you and I didn't know this hidden world existed.
So my parents, so I kind of explained like, oh, I do this. I'm a coach and I do this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, are you sure that's not illegal? Like, is this okay? Are you sure? I'm like, Mom, this is the way. So yeah.
Which I think is just the funniest story, but it just totally articulates what I'm saying. And the fact of the matter is, this is what's so important, guys, is like when you have a community of people that you can come and you can be like, oh, that didn't go the way I wanted to, but I think I learned this lesson. Or you come back and you're like, I have to share. Like you came into the Ignite You Facebook group and you're like, you did a live and you're like, I have to share like what just happened when you had that first launch. And I'm like, and everyone gets so excited. And then you've got that energy flowing back into you and filling you up because it's people that understand what that means.
Yes. I had nowhere to share my win. So I went to the Ignite You group and like, I hope you're not going to hate me because, like that was the first thing. And I hated talking money. Like I hated talking about money because I feel like now I don't have that money mindset. Like I was able to break through that. But, the first one was like, I don't know, I want to say this amount, but I made this much and I'm excited.
And everyone went crazy, right? And so excited for you and learning from you, Mm-hmm. Yes, you're getting agreement that moms aren't really totally understanding this. So my mother didn't understand until she came to, I actually spoke at an event last year. Actually, it was last year, the Mommy Dash, our friends, the Mommy Dash, who are part of Ignite You. Yeah. Jen and Alicia had an event and I spoke at it. I was the keynote. And my mom came out from Massachusetts to listen. And she sat there and she was like, there were women crying in the audience. And she's like, I had no idea what you really did. And she's like, I still don't, but I'm seeing impact.
The impact, yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. So, okay, we could talk all day because I adore you and I just have so much fun with you. I'm sure the audiences too, because you are just a blast and so generous with your time.
Can I also mention something? Because you said the word network marketing. Can I talk about
Yes, yes, of course. Multiple income streams. Go.
Yes. I hated network marketing. Like I hated all those accounts. Like, ugh, oh my gosh, again. And I think because I speak English and Japanese, and back then there's one of the skincare company was launching, and like I literally received not emails, DM, LinkedIn message. Yeah, hey girl, LinkedIn, and also Instagram, and it was all over. And I had a really, really negative image of doing network marketing. But all those Ignite You, I don't know the percentage, but many of the women, they do network marketing. And of course you do too. But those people are not like other people. And like, wait a minute, hold up. Let me just learn the original, like the basic of what it's supposed to be, not in the Instagram world. And it was just amazing. It was like a corporate almost, sales team.
It was the funniest thing. So to set the backdrop, so Emmy's like, look, I'm big into get into multiple income streams. I really don't like MLM and network marketing because of the experience that you've had, which again, that's why it gets a bad name.
Yep.
Right. But when I sat down with you, we talked about the business model. You're like, oh, and you saw like corporate, but with no ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. Ding, ding, ding. All the bells went off for you. Yeah. And so not only did you like bring your coaching business to 100K plus business that's got like unbelievable potential for growth, but you also added another income stream in network marketing because you saw that it could be done in a different way.
Yeah.
And you're bringing your authentic self to doing that. And I love that you have even combined it by continuing to, and I tell people this all the time, if you've got a couple of businesses, still zero in on your girl. Still zero in on your ideal customer.
Still the same. Yep.
So the same. And you're just offering another path. If you're already helping people with kind of creating side businesses, well, hi, that is a great one to be able to start with, and especially to dip toes into to start network marketing. Yep. So I just love that all came together for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's a whole other stream that you can grow.
Yeah. And then the only people that I see as an example is you. So like you're like enrolling, 30 people, 40 people or something. So I was thinking like, oh my gosh, I got to do this. And then August was my first month doing it. And I brought in 5 people and I was disappointed because like, oh my gosh, Julie.
Yeah, people might want to shoot you in a second. So girls, they're going to like come through the screen. She's like her first month in network marketing and she had 5 people join her team. Can you guys give her some like love? That last month was her first month in network marketing and had 5 business builders join her team. Like that's kind of like not normal. So that was huge.
So thank you for telling me that because I didn't know what should look like. So the only example was just you. So I was like, man, I didn't do this. I totally failed almost. And you're like, you gotta stop. Hold up. People are gonna hate you.
Like, don't say 5 small, please.
Yeah. So and then again. But because of that's everything what I have learned from you. So either way, if you're trying to become a coach or other thing besides network marketing, or if you want to do network marketing, either way, this business principle is the same. It works for any business models. Yeah,
100%. What about the women inside the program? Have you met some of your new business besties in there? What do you think about the women inside of Ignite You?
Oh my gosh, they're amazing. I wouldn't be able to, connect with those women. I have talked to like literally like had a voiceover like conversation. It is so amazing. And I just love the vibes and I cannot wait to, it's too bad. There's, we can't really fly and meet, but if there's going to be an event.
There will be. Yeah. We'll be doing in person. I'm going to probably do like a road show, with the different cities and try to find, hopefully 2021 will be the year we can actually finally like get together, which would be amazing. So wrapping up here, you're amazing. This time is incredible. Everyone loves you. What would you say to someone that's like stuck where you kind of were stuck and scared? Because let's face it, your husband, no job, you're on unemployment. And you took a leap of faith. Well, what would you just say to someone in a similar situation?
Mm-hmm. the thing is, if you want to do something, if you want to change something, you gotta have the right habit to make it happen, and then you gotta do something that is different than what you used to do. Because if you're gonna be continue doing that and maybe trying to go for that shiny object and trying to still collect freebies and all that stuff, I mean, business is something, it's a brand new thing. It's like there's a reason, I think you talked about this, there's a reason why there's a school to become a doctor. There's a reason why there's a school to become a dentist. And there's a reason why there's a school to become a hair stylist or whatever, right? Yeah. You need to learn from someone who had already went through. And also the other thing, I think this is something that Kelly said, there's no promise, right? But you can't just say like, there's a car in San Diego and then you need to go to New York. And can you promise me that this car will take me to New York? And once I get there, I'll pay the gas? That doesn't work like that. Yeah. If you don't put the money in gas, you can't move, right? So if you decide not to pay for the gas, no wonder why you're still in San Diego. Like,
ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Preach, Emmy.
Well, no, that's Kelly, not from me.
Yeah, you're delivering it excellent.
Okay, but yeah, so that hit me a lot. And I mean, this is the perfect place because you don't need to take another class from someone, or there's another.
No more investments.
No, this is it. Like, I will stay with you as long as you offer a program. I'll be ready for the next level.
Yep, I'll do.
Yeah.
Ignite growth.
I'll be there.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
You're the best. You're amazing. And I love what you're sharing. I cannot wait to watch how the rest of this year unfolds for you. I'm so pumped to, see what your 2021 strategic plan is for your business and what you're doing. I am honored to get to know you and work with you. I love having you inside of Ignite You. I know the other women do too. You're total inspiration. And I really appreciate you taking the time to come on today.
Thank you so much. And I like, this is the program you need. And obviously Julie didn't ask me to say this, but my life changed because of Julie, and I trusted her. I trusted Julie, and you should, because you cannot fail. Like, if you're in the program, like, Julie won't leave you. She'll be there, but you still have to do the action. The action has to come from you. But if you decided like today that you do the work, then this is going to be a perfect place for you.
Oh, you are the best. You're amazing. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I thank you so much for your time. And I know so many people are going to get so much value out of this and be so inspired to go work their businesses to achieve what you've been able to achieve. So thank you so much, Emmy.
Thank you.
There you have it. I hope you had enjoyed my conversation with Julie. どうでした？まあね、ちょっと早いかもしれないんですけれども、本当に思うのが、やっぱり何か現状を変えたければ、プロミスなんてないんですっていうお話はインスタグラムのストーリーでもしてるんですけども、まさにそれで、もう本当に自分との約束ですよね。このプログラムやったらできるかなとか、このプログラムやったら成功するかなじゃなくて、このプログラムを使ってどうやって自分を成長させていくか、どういうふうにして自分のビジネスを成功させていくかっていうのも本当にこれは自分次第だし、でジューイも言ってたと思うんですけども、本当に私もアクションをいっぱい取ってます。行動してるし、しかも本当に続けることが本当に大切なんですよね。だからもちろんそういう無料のインフォメーションいっぱいあるけれども、やっぱり無料には本当に限度があるっていうふうに私はすごく思ってるし、無料でこれだけのインフォメーションがあるのにどうしてみんながサクセスしてないか、成功してないかって言ったら、ここなんですよね。結局価値、自分に投資をすることによって自分の価値観、自分の時間っていうのにも価値が上がってくるから、それだけ本気になるっていうのも本当にまさにそれです。で、やっぱりその自分の信用するコーチで、やっぱ本当に分かんないこととかコーチに聞くと、なんかものすごい量のアドバイスとかアイディアとか返ってきて、ウォーっていうふうに思うんですよね。でもやっぱ彼女だって私よりも何歩も先に進んでいる方なので、もうそういうのは彼女にとってはもうイージーなんですよね、おそらく。でも本当にそういう誰か先に行ってる人にやっぱアドバイスをもらうのが本当に一番のサクセスだなっていうふうに思います。だからオーバーナイトのサクセスはないよって言ってるけども、でもオーバーナイトでブレイクスルー、何か一気にブーンってなんかブレイクスルー、本当に殻が割れるっていうことは本当にそれは it's possible あると思います。はい。ということで、もしもこの話を聞いて、コーチエミも ビジネス教えているの？ Her side business program? Yes, 教えています。で、これも私も12ヶ月のたっぷりしっかりサポートをしています。で、なんで12ヶ月なのって、12ヶ月やったらじゃあビジネスができるのって言ったらそういうわけでもないんですよね。もう実際には受講生の方で本当に2ヶ月で、最短2ヶ月でお客さんをゲットする人だっています。でも、ビジネスを軌道に乗せて続けるにはやっぱそれぐらいは本当にかかります。本当に。だからただ単に1ヶ月2ヶ月3ヶ月だけ勉強してそれで何かこう一気にそういう私の例えばねsix figure ビジネスとかをやろうと思ったらそれは絶対に無理です。本当にこれはもう、言えます。はっきりと言います。なのでもしもそしてその自分のビジネスの成長をスピードしたかったらもう本当にそれはコーチとかに習うしかそれはないと思います。私のコーチだってもうアメリカではもう本当にトップって言われてるコーチから学んでいるし、彼女のコーチにもメンターっていうのがいるわけですから、それはもちろんそうですね。皆さんみんな投資してるわけなんですよ。だから自分に投資をしないで他の人に、私に投資してもらおうなんてそんな甘い考えははっきり言ってそういう甘い考えしてたら自分のビジネスだって価値もないものになります。いや本当にこれははっきりと言えます。だからこういう私は本当にはっきり言う方なんですよね。そういうとこは。だからこういうね背中を押してくれて、そしてインスピレーションのある話とか本当にビジネスの戦略だけじゃなくてマインドの方もしっかりとサポートしてくれるコーチが欲しいって言ったら I'm the one for you。 でも簡単にイージーマニーが欲しいっていう風に考えてる人いたら I'm not your coach だと思います。 Alright, well thank you so much for listening to this episode. Remember, it is difficult and it's hard, but it doesn't have to be so hard and you don't have to suffer. You don't have to give up your own dream. You just need someone to work with. You don't need to walk this mountain, this giant mountain, by yourself. I am gonna be there for you. We're gonna be marching together along with other sisters who are in her company's Her Way sisterhood community. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.